When we started putting the objectives in and the gameplay, it kind of became rapidly clear that there were a whole bunch of stuff we hadn't thought about. All of the AI in the game was very, what we call Bond-centric. So all the AI was interested in was the player character. Of course, the game features a lot of the time this, well, the film features a lot of the time, and the game, this character Natalia, who's kind of your sidekick. And that was a big problem. So there was an enormous amount of hackery in the AI to enable her to be on your side and not be hostile to you. And then also for the AI, the opposing NPCs, to regard her as a target, or sometimes not regard her as a target. The other thing we discovered later in the day was we didn't have any female walk cycles. So she's a bit butch when she walks out. She looks a bit butch anyway.
Polygons can do that to a guy. I think the budget for a head was about 40 triangles, and really you have to remember that a cube takes 12, so 40, it's not a lot of triangles.
So here, it's quite dark in here. More or less relying on the automate to do this polygon. This level, if you play it on the higher difficulty, murders at the start. It's quite late in the game.
That's one of my favourite hard parts of the whole game.
Yeah,
getting out of that lift.
Getting out of that lift is probably as hard as almost an entire game.
You have to inch your way around to see the roof gun before it's easy.
So when she killed everyone, she's okay.
I think there's someone waiting in my surprise you later after you decide they're definitely not there.
Always depends on which school but and then this level has this kind of mechanic where you have to allow her to come out, and then she's going to do this and run these animations, which at the time were quite exciting. And she opens the door for you to let her through, and then you go forward and you rejoin her later. But I mean, that was all of this kind of stuff was pushing what the AI scripting was capable of. And one of the reasons a lot of this stuff got done, the standard got done, I think was down to the size of the team and the environment we worked in, which was a few small offices, people virtually sitting on top of each other. And there was a very, Martin and I was talking about this last night, there was a very tight coupling between feature requests and code going in and bugs being fixed. I mean, I used to sit and try and set things up, get stuck, couldn't do something. I would go and say to Mark, I can't do this, is there some way around it? He would usually say, well, no, there isn't, but I'll have a look at it. And then a couple of days later, he would have added some feature to the AI, which I could then use. And there was a lot of little iterations and stuff like that. The other thing as well was that we kept the game ran playably through all of development, and I think that was really important because we would continually, if it crashed and fell over, I could have someone, Martin or Mark or Steve, would look at the stack codes and try and work out what had happened quite quickly. And again, the trigger is I have to go back to see her, and then she turned over the door. Actually, I know what you do. I'll switch from the sheet.
That's a good one.
This is another interesting look at the interface in the interface in the game for selecting things that aren't guns is really difficult to use. It's kind of a consequence of the limited number of buttons and stuff on the controller.